Welcome, welcome, welcome to Dream Bigger 21-day Play for Prosperity Expansion of Consciousness Waking Ritual Routine. It is our intention to increase joy and prosperity in our lives by establishing a powerful waking routine that focuses our concentration, ignites our imagination, and puts us in a high vibration state to be invincible the rest of the day. Go ahead and set your intention for the day, that we will realize with ease and grace and for the highest and best good of all. Hopefully, you have a journal nearby and you can write that down. If not, go ahead and grab a journal. Wonderful. This helps us focus on what it is we choose to create in the day. And it's a reminder of then how we choose to show up and how we get the most out of this is how we get the most out of life. It is to show up, be all in, play all out, start where we are, and then restart from wherever we're at. This investment is in you. You are the best investment that you could ever make. This morning, we are talking about imagination, and imagination is our superpower as human beings. We have vivid imaginations. Some of us shut down our imaginations when we are children because we imagine quite a bit of things, and maybe well meaning adults try to bring us into reality. And really, imagination is such a helpful tool for us to cultivate what it is that we desire. And so I am going to encourage you to reactivate your imagination if it's something that you don't use on a regular basis. And if you already do use your imagination, then analyze if you're using your imagination in a healthy, creative way or in a not so healthy, creative way. Or could still be creative in that you're creating something, but maybe you're creating something that does not serve you so much. Like worriers, people that worry have vivid imaginations, but they're vividly imagining the negative happening. And so I am going to encourage that you vividly imagine positive things happening. And so asking questions is helpful in this. What if, um, you know, what, you know, what would be the best thing that could possibly happen out of this? Or what is my ideal situation? What is my ideal life? What is my ideal day? Asking yourself those types of questions to draw you through. And how would my life be different if this thing happened? What would it look like if this thing happened? And what is the most delicious way that this thing could possibly happen? Now, sometimes, yeah, sometimes our imagination can lead us down a negative path. And so, just as much as our imagination can be our superpower, it could also be our kryptonite. Like I gave the example of people who worry can imagine to the negative, and they imagine the worst case scenario, and they're always imagining the worst case scenario, or just have this feeling like the of doom and gloom, and like the next shoe is going to drop. And so this could be because of childhood trauma, because of being in unsafe environments, never knowing what's going to happen next. And so now we get the opportunity to nurture ourselves into a safe space where we can love up that inner child of ours and let them be a dreamer and to use their imagination, have imaginary friends if they'd like, and imagine the most fantastical circumstances, because truly what we image in our mind's eye eventually does come into being. So I am going to encourage you and empower you to imagine in your mind's eye only what it is that you desire to experience. in the in the circumstances where you feel like you really can't get out of your head because you're imagining a negative circumstance happening, then I would say, well, go ahead and play it out in your mind's eye. And then what would you do afterwards? Okay, so um, just go, okay, that's going to happen. And what would you do next? How would you resolve it? And then usually people realize, okay, after this thing happens, then I would do this, or I would do this, or I would do this. And they realize that, oh, it's not all as bad as I thought it would be. And it takes that kind of scary monster away. And then I would encourage you to put in its place the positive outcome you wish that's beyond that negative circumstance, and just hold that in your mind's eye. Because sometimes we do know something's going to be coming that, oh, it's just not ideal. And so you could play that through in your mind's eye and get to the place of empowerment, because we have responsibility, meaning that we're able to respond at any time, how we choose. So we're 100% responsible. So get to the responsible aspect. So if something's happening in your life, you don't have control over the circumstances. You can still imagine the best case scenario from it after the not so fun stuff happens. Okay. Other things, yeah, play out in your mind's eye, things that you're thinking about doing, and imagine. You can use your imagination as a useful tool to play something out in your mind's eye if you really want that thing or not, and also to refine your dream so that you can work out the kinks in it, or get it to the place where you're like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I want. Because at first you're dreaming not with a full baked dream, just kind of like a half baked dream. And when you start playing out in your mind's eye the imagery of it, then other things come into realization where you're like, oh, yeah, oh, maybe I don't really want that part of it. Oh, what I would really like is this. So, what would it take? And then we can ask, well, what would it take for this dream to happen? And then attract the people, opportunities, and resources, which is what we're going to do right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into a deep, relaxed state. You know how to do this by now, right? You can put your feet flat on the floor or folded up underneath you. What we're doing is drawing some power, stability, love, abundance, nourishment from the earth, and grounding into the earth, receiving support, drawing up the nutrients, knowing that we can only rebuild ourselves from physically, from what we allow into our bodies, from the earth, the food, the fluids, the nutrients from the air. And so we receive into us all the ingredients that support us, that love us up. And we draw these nutrients up into our bodies, feeding, activating each and every cell and each and every organ. And as we draw up this loving, nurturing energy from the earth, we allow it to circulate throughout our bodies and also to spill over into a grounding cord that we have placed at the base of our spine, going deep into the earth, hundreds of feet, a hollow cord where we can flush anything that no longer serves us, any tension, any negative images or thoughts, worries, any patterns or programs we're ready to release and let go of. Just let them go down the down the grounding cord. Yeah, it's like down the drain, right? They're just getting drained out of our body. We release them and let them go and transmute them. And thank you to the natural recycling process of the earth, regenerating, any toxicity into healthy nutrients for tonics and elixirs that actually serve us. We keep receiving this energy while we bring our attention up, where our spine is straight, shoulders rolled back, chest open, our hands are in a mudra of our choice. You can have the palms facing up. We're in a mudra that feels comfortable for you at this moment. And we bring our attention up, up, up until we see, sense, or feel bright light coming down, down, down into the crown of our heads and activating our imagination, giving ourselves permission to dream as a child would dream, imagining in full color and big and bright and beautiful. As this light comes down into the crown of our heads, it's activating our eyes, both our inner vision and our outer vision, so we can see clearly and that we have forevision, that we can see ahead of time, at least our perceived time. that we have foresight, predictive vision, and that we also have the power to see into the future when we play out our imagination. And we can use our imagination to craft and carve our reality. Allowing this light to come down into the rest of our body, continuing to activate different aspects of our body, activating our third eye in the center of our forehead, a couple inches back, is the source of our imagination. Breathing into this area of our brain, our mind's eye, giving ourselves permission to reawakening. We reawaken any area of this mind's eye that has atrophied, that has shut down. Activating our inner imagination, activating color and light and sound and scent. That we can imagine anything we desire in our mind's eye as if it is real. And as this light continues to circulate throughout our body, it's activating all of our other powers, our inner hearing and our outer hearing, so that we may listen to our inner wisdom that comes to us from a place beyond this world and beyond all time and space and reality, that is supporting our imagination and our creations, activating our scent, that we have a sense that is heightened, beyond this world. activating our throat and our voice, our inner voice and our outer voice, that we may speak our truth within ourselves. We speak truth, and to the outside world, our words are aligned with what it is that we desire to create and co-create. Our words are powerful wands serving our superpower of imagination, knowing that they are so powerful that they could also act as kryptonite if we use words that sabotage our desires. Paying attention throughout the day, the words we choose to use, whether they are spoken out loud or said silently to ourselves, releasing and let going of any words that no longer serve us, like can't, or phrases like it's hard, and replacing them with imaginative words of possibility, like I can, or I'm open to it. I'm open to this being easy. This can be easier. What would it take for it to be easier? Activating our ability to ask positive, co empowering questions, knowing that we are having a conversation with all of nature, and what we ask, it is given. And so we ask what is in alignment with our imagination. We continue to allow this light and this love to circulate throughout our entire bodies, activating each and every cell and each and every organ, knowing that each has an intelligence to have its own imagination. And we listen and we share what it is that we desire. And we get in alignment, releasing and letting go of the images that no longer serve us, releasing them down the grounding cord, or allowing them to be transmuted upward by the light, so that we're only emanating outward what it is that we truly desire, knowing that we are receptors and we have an electromagnetic field that we are creating around us 360 degrees, and that our thoughts are the electrical impulses that are going out, and our feelings, our emotions are the magnetic impulses that are drawing inward into us, that are magnetizing to us the people and opportunities and resources. So we're getting our emotions in alignment with our images, so we can draw to us the people, opportunities, and resources that are in alignment with our imagined dream, our desire, So, holding in our mind's eye right now, something that we desire to bring into reality, getting a clear image of this in our mind's eye. Right there in the center of our head. And then allowing that image to drop down through our throat, right into our heart center. And as it is dropping down, it's activating our vision, our hearing, our speaking, our sensing into our heart. And here we are embracing this dream, activating it with our emotion. When it is that we accomplish this, how are we going to feel? How is our life going to be different? And the love that is projecting from our heart, the desire for this, and the light, the wisdom from our mind's eye that knows if we desire something, there is a way for it to come into fruition. The light and the love gets projected out from both places and will meet out into the distance. And we can see this image, much like projecting onto a screen, a hologram of this desire when it comes true in this time space reality, when it's realized, imagining the picture of the last thing that needs to happen for this to, for you to truly know it's happened, it's done. Imagine that. Have a clear vision of what that next step is. How will you know it's done? That it is actually happening or happened. Okay. And now that you have that part of the image played out, now bring it closer. And as it comes closer, it gets clearer and clearer. Now activate it with color. Make it really colorful. Paint it. Paint color into it if you need to. Take out some paintbrushes and paint color into it. If the image that you're seeing is a still image, make it a moving image. And if it's a moving image, make it a still image. Make it three-dimensional. Now add sound to it. If you don't have sound to it, what's the sound like? Add scent to it. What's the scent in the air? A deep breath in of the scent. Mm. As you breathe in the scent, we feel into our bodies even more of the feeling sensation of what it feels like when this is reality. We can touch it. We can actually feel it, viscerally feel it. What is the texture like? What's the feeling sensation of the surfaces in that 3D picture? Mm. And what do we taste? Imagining there's like taste buds all over our face, all over our body, even our hair, our eyelashes, our eyebrows have taste buds. We're drawing in the flavors. Continuing to breathe into ourselves the feeling sensations of what this looks like, what it tastes like, what the scent is, the feeling, what the vision is. And we bring it closer and closer and closer. And as it comes closer, the activities leading up to it are getting played out in our mind's eye. And it gets closer and closer and closer. It sips into our mind's eye and goes down into our hearts. And then we can hold this image in our heart, knowing exactly what it looks like, feels like, tastes like, smells like, even sounds like. And we can play it out whenever we desire to just be in this space. And right now, it's as if it has already happened, it is done. It is done. And now we know the people and the opportunity and the resources, the opportunities leading up to this opportunity will realize itself. And now we have the joy of witnessing all the little steps between now and its fullest fruition. And we get to delight in the mini manifestations leading up to the full manifestation. Won't it be fun when all the crumbs come little by little by little, leading up to our desire? We can stay in the space of enjoying what it is that we desire for as long as we'd like, and playing with this imagery throughout the day. We know we can use our superpower of imagination to imagine any circumstance we come into, to play it out the way we desire for it to happen. Our imagination is our superpower, and we can use it to cultivate healthy, co empowering circumstances. And we imagine only what we desire to realize. And so it is. And so it shall be.